Welcome to the Deep Dive. So today we're getting into something I think we all deal with, knowing when it's time to let something go, and also this really interesting idea about anger and maybe how it could be used in that process.
Right. Yeah, we're looking at some of your own reflections, the piece called Letting Go and Using Anger.
Exactly. And the mission really is just to pull out some, useful stuff from those thoughts, those experiences.
Yeah, let's try and dig in a bit deeper than just the surface level.
Okay. So first up, this word you focused on, fester.
Ah, fester, yeah.
Generally, it just means something getting worse over time, right? But there's that other meaning too.
The more physical one, yeah. Like a wound getting infected. Painful.
And you draw this parallel, how holding on to stuff like resentment or unresolved issues, it could do that internally.
It really can. It's like an emotional wound that just sits there and, festers. Becomes toxic if you don't deal with it.
Poisons things, yeah. So how do we know then? When is it time to actually let go before it gets, that bad?
Well, the process you outlined in your notes, it's quite considered. It involves really looking at the pros and cons.
Okay.
Visualizing what you actually want the outcome to be, and crucially, thinking about the effort involved and just keeping it going.
Like the maintenance cost.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Is it still worth putting in that energy, even with all the problems? That's a big question.
And I thought it was smart, the idea of letting feelings marinate if you're not sure.
Right. Don't rush.
Yeah, avoid that hasty decision you might kick yourself for later. Just giving it time.
That pause, it lets you be more thoughtful instead of just reacting,
Definitely. Makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What have maybe you, listening, let go of too fast or held on to too long? Now, this bit really caught my eye, the Buddha quote. We all know it, or something like it.
Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die.
It's powerful, right?
Yeah.
A real warning. But then your notes offer this counter idea that anger could actually be like positive fuel.
Yes, but the distinction is super important here. It's about using that raw energy internally. Not to, attack someone or force something outside, but to fuel your own growth.
To push through your own stuff.
Exactly, to overcome personal obstacles.
So you're sort of reframing the anger, seeing it maybe not just as this destructive thing.
Potentially, yeah. You mentioned seeing it in movies sometimes, characters using anger for resolve.
Right.
But, and this is key, it's not for everyone. It takes a lot of self-awareness, a lot of control.
Or it just becomes destructive anyway.
Precisely. But it's a possibility, an option for some people if they choose to work with it that way.
Okay, so we've got festering, we've got maybe repurposing anger. Let's talk about that image you used, the suitcase.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
The person struggling uphill.
Dragging this huge suitcase, and it's labeled 1997. I think a lot of us can probably picture that feeling.
Oh, absolutely. It's such a clear metaphor for, our past emotional baggage.
All the old hurts, disappointments, things we haven't quite dealt with.
Yeah, and it absolutely can hold you back, slow you down on that uphill climb.
But you added this twist, didn't you? It's not just dead weight.
No. There's a duality. The struggle itself, the effort of carrying it, maybe that actually builds strength over time.
So if you face what's in the suitcase, learn from it.
Maybe unpack some of it.
Right. Then the carrying, even though it's hard, it builds resilience.
That's the idea. It's not about pretending the past didn't happen, but about how you choose to carry it forward. It can make you stronger.
Okay, so wrapping up, we've talked about really needing self-reflection to know when to let things go before they turn toxic. We've looked at this maybe counterintuitive idea of anger as internal fuel, used carefully.
With caution, yes.
In this image of the suitcase, the baggage we carry and how it affects us.
It all comes down to being aware, really. Making conscious choices about what we keep and what we release.
Right. So a final thought for you listening.
Yeah.
What's your suitcase? What year is on it? Is it just dragging you down?
Or is there maybe a way to use its weight, learn from the struggle, and build a bit more strength for the road ahead?
Something to think about. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us.